First to Ambassador John Bolton, former national security advisor in the Trump White House. Mr. Ambassador, thanks for being with us here on the Hill once again. Always a pleasure to speak with you, sir. I just played a couple clips of Pete Hegseth and Michael Waltz. Senator Rubio has said China is a more dangerous threat than Russia. What message do you think Donald Trump is trying to send to China right now?
Well, I don't know. With his announcement of Tulsi Gabbard to be the director of national intelligence, he's sending a signal that we have lost our mind when it comes to collecting intelligence. This is, up until a few hours ago, I would have said that was the worst cabinet appointment in recent American history. Of course, since Matt Gaetz's nomination, he clearly has taken the lead on that score. But it's not an indication that the administration is serious about one of the most important aspects of dealing with a threat like China, which is intelligence.
Why do you feel that way?
Well,
I don't mean to jump in.
Let me give you an example. Sure, let me give you an example of Tulsi Gabbard at work. The day of an intelligence briefing to members of Congress, January the 8th, 2020, when under President Trump's direction, the United States had eliminated Qasem Soleimani, the head of the Quds Force, Tulsi Gabbard said in an interview with Jake Tapper, and I quote, that she was concerned about the illegal and unconstitutional act of war that had been carried out under President Trump's orders. So that's the kind of person that we're going to put in charge of our overall intelligence community. I don't think either she or Matt Gaetz ought to have a confirmation hearing until they have both had full-field FBI investigations.
Why do you
then I think the Chinese would say,
hold on, FBI investigations
maybe
into
they
Gabbard?
are serious. I think so, given the Russian propaganda that she has espoused over the past period of time. I think she's a serious threat to our national security. I think Republican senators should reject both of them.
Let me take you back to the first question, if you don't mind. And I'll combine this. What do you think the message is that Trump is sending on China? And the combination there would be, where do you think he's gone right with some of his picks? Rubio, Waltz, Hegseth, any issues there?
Well, I think for all three of them, that they do have the correct approach to China. I take issue with your opening remark about Trump having a worldview of China. Trump does not have a national security philosophy. He doesn't deal with policy as we conventionally understand that term. His rhetoric on China now is tough, and the reason is he believes his defeat in the 2020 election was due to COVID,
so what
which
do you
obviously originated in China.
What do you think his view on China is?
I think if Xi Jinping called him up and said, Donald, I'm so glad you've been reelected. This guy Biden made a mess of our relations. You and I should go back to what we were doing before, which is to try and cut the biggest trade deal in history. You and I can do it. Let's sit down and talk at the earliest opportunity. I think Trump would do it. He believes China cost him the election in 2020. Of course, Trump didn't lose the election in 2020. It was stolen. But if it hadn't been stolen and he had lost it, it would have been China's fault. But because Trump's totally transactional, because he doesn't have a national security philosophy, I think Xi Jinping could turn him around like a dime.
You think she's going to make that call?
Let me give you another concrete example.
Yeah, one more, and then I've got Congressman Krishnamurthy behind.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll give up my time if you want.
No. He's the top Democrat on the China Select Committee. I was just mentioning that because he's listening and behind you. I'll give you the last word here on your last example.
TikTok is an application run by the Chinese state to collect information from the users in the United States and around the world. Trump originally opposed TikTok for what it was. It was a Chinese device to gather intelligence in the United States. Now he supports it. You know, in Beijing, the reaction to that, they're laughing at him.
Mr. Ambassador, got to leave it there. Thanks for being back with us here on the Hill. Hope to speak with you again soon, sir. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.